What's good, ladies and gentlemen? We back again, man. Talking about the spiritual, talking about the culture. We do it all on this channel right here, man. You know, man, and much love to everybody out there. Hope you're having a blessed and wonderful day. It was one of the questions I seen that popped up, you know what I mean? And I was watching this podcast and they were talking about the culture, right? Our culture. Do black women support and do they celebrate black man within the culture? And what is my true opinion about that? And like I say, you can always say it's 50-50, but I feel like the majority of numbers show that you will see black women that do support man, but far as celebrating black man, that's when you start to see that those two round heads clashing together, and you say, man, they might support a little bit, but celebrate is a different aspect of it all. You know what I mean? Because, like I say, Father's Day and Mother's Day is not looked at as the same way. It's really not a celebrating a thing within our culture as far as to celebrate the man within the home. You know what I mean? Especially like even if you a good father and you do have all the aspects that everybody's looking for within that family dynamics, they still don't celebrate you. They still put you in the category of the person that doesn't do anything. And like I said before, it's sad to see that. Like I said, I was talking about this the other day on the live. Like I was saying, like when you look at Father's Day, man, I go on my timeline. It was over like 5,000 people. You know what I mean? Like friends up there. I would give you a 90% of the women that was on Father's Day, far as celebrating the fathers and stuff in the culture. And like I said before, it was no love in that. You know what I mean? No love whatsoever. Like they didn't give a damn. Even the fathers that was good, they still put them in the category of a negative father. You know what I mean? So that's why I say celebrating us, I don't see that. And then like I told you, see more content is more to degrade men. And then you got to think about it. They not really dealing with those. Like you got to think about it. The good guys and the people that do respectful things, and they always go, why the little black guy he get all this money and start dating white women or you know what I mean Spanish or whatever outside their race basically. And you ask the question of that, and I think the answer is clear as day. Black women don't really celebrate black men. They really don't. Now, do they support us sometimes? Yeah. Celebrate? No. The celebration ain't there. You get socks on Father's Day. You know what I mean? Mother's Day, go out to eat, do all types of lavish things for Mother's Day. Even think about Valentine's Day, right? Something like that. You would look at that and you'd be like, man, they both gonna equally do amazing and wonderful things for each other on that day. It's not always the case. You'll see the man buying all this lavish things, all these big gifts, and then the woman that she gets you anything. You know what I mean? It be like that sometimes. Like I say, the love and the passion that comes with that, it's not there. And like I say, it's been traits of toxicness for so many years and bad information put into the community. Because like I say, everybody don't do that. You know what I mean? And when we look at numbers and stuff like that, you say, damn, how the numbers saying one thing, but yet the actual consciousness and the people and the environment don't see it from that standpoint. You know what I mean? So like I said, I don't believe they celebrate us. I believe sometimes they support us, but not really celebrate us as men. And that's why I feel like that's why people switch over. Now, people look at the numbers and say, yeah, a lot of black men marry their own culture. You know what I mean? But those divorce numbers is high as hell. You know what I mean? Because like I told you, within those relationships, you have masculine women and not feminine women. You have women that want to be the leader of the household, not allowing the man to control the position of what it's supposed to be. Like I said before, when I look at the black and the white thing, I always say, in my experiences, and like I said, man, it be anecdotal or whatever, but like I say, my experiences, black women and white women, to me, do the exact same thing. You know what I mean? The culture has changed and shifted. You know what I mean? I was watching this podcast, and the guy was talking about how people from overseas, they grew up in a culture with a man and the woman, they stay together through thick and thin, through adversity, everything. They just stay together and they build. Like I say, coming to the United States, you understand that the culture is so messed up. Everybody cheating, everybody doing all types of other things to ruin the actual family dynamics. And then we look at it now, and it's like the love, bruh. The love, the distractions and the love is not there. You know what I mean? The dedication ain't there. You know what I mean? Then you gotta think about the wear and tear on the mind of a person going through those relationships like that. And like I said before, no, the celebration has never been there. It hasn't been one of the top things. They don't even like. You got to think about it. You watching Kevin Samuels or all these different podcasts and stuff like that, and you sit back and you realize that even the women in the environment don't even look at you as a person to even be considered, right? You know what I mean? Like I say, the average guy, right? And you got to think it's more average than people that's 1%. You know what I mean? So it's like 2% of, well, no 1% or 3% of the people that you talking about that's making hundreds of thousands of dollars or in that $1 million range. That's like 1%, 2% type of thing, right? So you dealing with more average people. So that means that the woman that come outside her house don't even find you attractive, don't find nothing about you likable. You know what I mean? It's only, and then you got to think about it. If you really look at what happens in the community, it's two guys, right? Types of guys. Listen to what I'm saying. That the women actually really find attractive or really rock with into that standpoint. You know what I mean? So, like I told you, the celebration definitely not there. And like I say, men celebrate black women more than black women celebrate black men. Let's be real. You look at Mother's Day, that shit is goddamn blew through the roof. Valentine's Day blew through the roof. Multiple holidays, they celebrated to the highest power. You know what I mean? And that is real. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, even if it's like a son that come back and give his mother everything. You know what I mean? You don't really hear about sons doing that for their father. You know what I mean? I'm just being real with it. It's a different thing. You know what I'm saying? A dude will go into the NFL, the NBA, and can't wait to buy his mom a house and stuff like that. Even if a dude was like a single father that was raising the son, they don't look at the father in that aspect with that love, compassion. You know what I mean? So it's like the father in the community, you know what I mean, and the black man in our culture is have never been celebrated by anybody. You know what I mean? Like I say, other races celebrate us more than the actual black women, of course. You know what I mean? They look at us completely different. You know what I mean? But like I told you before, black women have been saying so many negative and bad things about us that it's starting to become contagious as far as other cultures. And like I said, I talk to different people from different races and backgrounds and hearing those stigmas that come from that. You know what I mean? And like I said before, it's like they got the angry black women, right? And then, like I say, moving in that masculine energy like that. You know what I mean? You like, damn, but she was only dealing with Tyrone's. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's all she was ever dealing with was Tyrone. She never ever gave the opportunity for her to be actually loved by a person that really loved her. She only would date Tyrone's, the dudes that was cheating, the dudes that was doing bad things, the dudes that was hurting her, breaking her mentally, physically, and emotionally. And she felt like Tyrone was the best looking dude. He was the drug dealer. He was all of this and that. She said, I want Tyrone. She don't want the guy that was going to college that was trying to figure it out, that could be the entrepreneur, things like that. She wanted that shit that came right then and right there. You know what I mean? And that's what's breaking the culture. Is the celebration there? No. It's not there because they only dating Tyrones. If you only dating Tyrones, you only gonna have a Tyrone type of experience. And that's just real. You dating Tyrone, you're gonna have a Tyrone experience. You date the good guy, you're gonna have a different outward look of how men treat women. And that's like I say, you putting all men in one category when most women don't even look at average guys in any sort in a lovable way anyway. So if you're only dealing with Tyrones, you're only gonna get a Tyrone experience. Let's just be real with that. And like I say, you judging all men off of a Tyrone experience, right? That's the guy that you, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I be saying like that the celebration is definitely not there. Support, yeah, I see them supporting sometimes, but like I say, celebrating, no. It'd be a rare case where you have social media, Instagram or Facebook, and Father's Day come up and you seeing hundreds or thousands or millions of women is coming up there saying the most positive things they could possibly say. Oh my, no, my baby daddy ain't this. My daddy ain't this. It's just always a negative thing to say. That's it. Everything they could possibly, and you got to think about it. You look at the women in our culture, right? How can we celebrate the women but not the man? But yet they do the same things. The women cheat at higher rates than men, right? But yet they look down on the man for some reason. They just always do. They always look down on the man for some reason. Even though you look at a lot of times from back in the past that women has raised men. So the women that raise men, they hate the man that they raise. Like you raise these men and you hate the man that you raise. It's like I don't be understanding that concept. You know what I mean? How you raise a bunch of men that you don't even like. How you make them become something that you don't like. Now let's say you have the mother that raised a son to be the good guy and respectable individual, and then the women don't even like that. And like I say, the bashing and name calling and stuff like that. I always say black men celebrate black women more than black women celebrate black men. They don't even look at the average guy as somebody to be celebrated or in the community, period. You know what I mean? And then they only talking about Tyrone when it come down to this goddamn negative experience, because that's all they date is those guys, the same guy. You will sit back, if you watch multiple women and you just sit back and you say, damn, that dude is the same type of dude she was with last time. They might got different names and different skin complexion. He might be a light-skinned dude or a dark-skinned dude, tall. They just all got the same mentality, the same everything. And you got to think about those type of guys date the same women all the time. So you don't mean anything to that individual. To actually be with a person that you actually mean something to is to have a different experience. That's why I always say I I feel sorry for the days that I was chasing different women, because you should never chase a woman. You should always be with somebody that love you equally. That's the only way it's going to work. Chasing somebody is a waste of time. You should always be with somebody that love you equally. You should never have to chase nobody. You should never have to be doing the calling and all that type of shit. It should be equal. And everybody should be able to sit at the table and be able to say, I know we different in different aspects, but let's come on common ground and make this thing work. Ego, ego come involved. I don't want to make this work. I want to do it my way. Selfish. That's why I always say, I look at a super beautiful and amazing looking woman, and I've seen a lot of them on the live and sharing different stuff like that, and I'm like, wow, she been single for multiple years, but she's having sex in a mix of those multiple years. She don't have the trait of commitment, and it all stemmed from Tyrone. Right? Like that was the experience that molded her and her mindset to just be a grimy, effed up individual. Good guy come around, I'm gonna take his money, I'm gonna take advantage of him. You know what I mean? And that's the mindset of that person. And that's crazy, man. It's crazy. But like I say, I don't believe the celebration is there. And I feel like a lot of times in life, you see this negative thing building. And that's why I think most people fear the strippers becoming the celebrated women in our culture, because it's so dark to celebrate that type of lifestyle. The OnlyFans chick, you know what I mean? That mentality where it's like, I'm going to take advantage of somebody that has a good heart and ruin them because I was broken by this Tyrone guy. You know what I'm saying? It's like now you got a bunch of women doing the same thing, and they so cold. It's crazy. They always say, man, this, man. I'm like, y'all don't be sitting back just looking at some of these women and be like, damn, that shit was fucked up. And then as they get away with that shit because the society don't punish them for that. Like I say, even when you dig deeper, right? Think about the young boy that was with King Von, the light-skinned guy, where that girl put that false allegation on him, talking about he was touching this and that. And the young boy came out, he was lying. He took like 3 polygraph tests and found out that man ain't never touched that young boy. Never touched him. And she put that on social media to embarrass him just because maybe he didn't even want to be with the joint no more. But that's how they do our coaching there. You got everybody talking in their mouth, oh yeah, he really did it. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing they do, because they don't like, man, they don't like black men like that. I'm telling you, the first thing they do, he did it. He did it. Like, bro, that shit be fucked up, man. I be saying that shit nowadays. I don't even know where to go with that, man. You know what I mean? But that's all I gotta say about that, man. I'm out.